Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I appreciate you joining us today. It's nice to be connected. It's nice to be connected with this gentleman as well. But looking at our culture, there is a major disconnect in many different ways. And he has developed a platform that is helping connect us once again. We're going to talk about that with Robert Swanson, who joins us once again on the program. Hi, Robert. How are you?
Good to be here, Steve. Hello, everyone.
How interesting it is with social media. It's almost an oxymoron, social media, except we're less social because people aren't really interacting. They are by typing a few things, but there's a disconnect. And I know you feel that in our culture. Tell me your thoughts on all of that.
Isn't that strange? We're on these devices communicating for 8 hours or 15 hours a day, and we feel more distant than ever. So for me personally, using the device, it's nice to connect with my sister occasionally. I do connect with my team. It's not the same as it was. It's not the same as a personal connection. The result is we feel alienated. Um, what is this sense? It's a sense of, not being real is how I'm going to put it. Not having that personal connection. We lost a sense of self being real, of having a real connection, of having real meaning, of having a real effect on the world, of having a real importance. And nothing is coming back to me as having real meaning. Now, I don't think I'm going too far. I think thinking of my childhood, uh, our family moved out into the suburbs, and then a family moved in next door. The whole thing was, wow, who are these people who just moved in next door? We have to connect with them. We made every effort to say hello and get them over to share a meal. And then we started doing activities together at the lake and going on hikes. And as more neighbors moved into the community, we all joined in those activities. We ended up having a block parade each year. We had a cake cook-off. We had competition in a ball game. It was competitive in the holidays to see who could put up the fantastic displays.
Mm.
And then we got together and we went caroling door to door. And afterwards, we had cocoa and marshmallows. Um, it was all a big family. The connection was very real. The sense of self was very real.
Mm.
And the being felt very tangible. Today, I don't know my neighbors' names.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me what happened. If it wasn't the changing technology, um, what happened to create such a distance, even though we're more crowded than ever?
It's a great question. And I try to think back to prior to social media, more technology, and try and track the change. So social media really kind of kicked in around 2008, give or take a little bit there, depending on, if you consider MySpace social media at that time. But if you go back to the 2000, 1999, whatever it might be, um, I try to think if we were much more connected, but you're right about not knowing your neighbor's name. Kind of the same here. I moved 2 years ago. Really didn't, I don't I have to admit. Um, Yeah, I'm not to bash social media, but do you think that has a lot to do with it? Do you think that technology has a lot to do with it? Do you think it's just our mentality of just, cocooning?
I'm going to put this in terms of culture. If you think back hundreds or thousands of years when that technology was not present, when we did not have a social system that was going to come to our rescue, it was me that was responsible. There's no alarm clock. It's me that gets me up in the morning
Hmm.
and I go to work, not because I have to, because I'm being ordered to. Uh, I know that I'm part of this community. If I don't get up and do it, nobody else will. If I don't get out of bed and take care of myself, no one's going to do it for me. And this is not a competition. This is everyone getting up and going to work and supporting each other because there's no one but us in this small community to make everything work. Everything comes together, the food, the construction, the social order, all happens because it's us in our community. That is culture. It's that commitment. It's the responsibility, and it's the willingness. It's more than that. It's a sense of it's not just me here. It's my connection with other people. Having lost that sense of connection, we lose the sense of obligation, the collaboration, the brotherhood, the sense of family.
Hmm.
WorldWise People is looking for that reconnection. We're not going to do that, I hope, by creating communities of 150 people again. We're going to do that incorporating technology.
Hmm.
That is a big puzzle. So, what is it in culture that says, I'm connected, I'm responsible, and it's not just me here? I'm going to get out of bed and we're working together as community. So, I'm no sociologist or psychologist, but I'm pretending to be one. uh, there's a few key elements. One is to be vetted. So in a small community, everyone's watching you. We need to bring that back. We need to bring back responsibility and that I declare my responsibility and everybody's watching me to see that I fulfill that responsibility. So you can do that with technology. You can set it up that you're declaring your responsibility, and then the community's watching to see if you fulfill your responsibility. Because you do that, the whole community is going to lift you up. You're going to be lifted up by being resourced. You're being lifted up um, as honor, as a person of integrity. You're being lifted up in responsibility, and that we're going to give you more responsibility, more power to help organize the community. And with that comes even more people offering collaboration and resourcing. So the key element in the platform we put up is the connections. So you're able to link different ideas and people, place an idea up high, that we're all pledging allegiance to. And now we're all going to work together, connected to resource toward that grand idea. I think a key element to restoring community is placing the grand idea up front. So there's how I'm creating meaning in my life. Any questions about that?
Yeah. So when you say that in this evolution new model that we're looking at, community is watching. So there's accountability. Is it more of a commitment? We're making a commitment to our community and they're holding us accountable.
Make a commitment. This is a commitment to yourself first. And I'm declaring that I'm going to have this responsibility, and I'm putting that out there as a statement to the community. And then, yes, the community is going to give me feedback. Specifically, under the statement that I put out there, people will apply comments.
Hmm.
Those comments get organized by the community in order of importance. My job is to reply to the top comments. The 4-star, the 5-star comments are deserving of my response, and everybody's looking to see, do I respond to those? And am I taking responsibility? If the answer is yes, now I'm going to have more people behind me supporting whatever it is I'm doing.
Can you give an example, broadly hypothetical, of what somebody might put in, excuse me, your platform, how community might see it, and what the commitment would be? Could be anything.
It's a very organic process, so I can put up anything on any of what we call matrices, so these different sections. You can put it anywhere, but primarily is triage. There's a place on the website, Triage Matrix. So that's for the whole community to vote up the best ideas. Where are we going? So the community wants to know, and the community is going to give an answer. So I put my idea on Triage Matrix, and then others give it a star vote.
Hmm.
So 300 people put their idea up on Triage. This is my idea where our community should be going in the future. We want better government responsibility. We want local development of businesses. We want the streets cleaned up. We want trees planted. We want less traffic noise. We would like safety for our children. And we want better education for our children. So any of these ideas get moved toward the front of the list, voted up as 4 and 5 stars, and now you have the support of the community behind that. There's another matrix, global matrix, is for global ideas. So I'm presenting my responsibility on global. We're developing that as a functional idea in our community. And now that it's functional as community and as a quality idea, I'm going to file it under that idea in triage. What just happened? The community reads triage matrix as if it's the morning news. And below each topic of news is how it's being fulfilled. And if I follow that idea into the matrices, I get to be a part of the solution. I get to exercise my responsibility as a citizen. I get to be part of the community. I now have a sense of fulfillment, a sense of responsibility, uh, a sense of ownership of my community, and a sense that the future is promising because I'm one of the people helping make it happen. I've done a lot of community work in my life. I've done uh, a lot of work with disabled children, disabled adults. I've done environmental work, cleaning up by the river, clearing trails up on the mountains. I've spent time working with the elderly. I've worked in hospice, volunteered with hospice, uh, volunteered with the Lions Club, doing all kinds of community activities. None of this was work. All of this was a labor of love. So using the triage matrix, people are to find what is their labor of love. So that's bringing back community to our technological society.
I love this idea. It's exciting. The one thing you said here that really excited me was probably not even, you wouldn't even think of it, that someone would find it exciting. But when you said that the community looks at this matrix as their news, whereby let's take less focus on this other stuff going on out here. A lot of it is just useless information, if you will, and focus on what really counts. And that's what's right in front of you, your community, be it your, say, local community. Not that we want to ignore global issues and challenges, but the silly things that, what the celebrities do, yeah, whatever. We don't need to know that like we pay the attention to now. That's exciting. Wow.
Imagine sitting at the table with your family. It's Saturday morning and people open up one computer or they open up all theirs to the triage matrix. And your wife says, this is my favorite, and I'm going to do that. And dad says, well, boy, I don't know. I kind of like this one over here. Couldn't we all work on that one?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a little bit of a family argument,
Yeah.
mom, dad, and the kids, as to what it is we're committed to as community. And that's a good thing. That is a really delightful argument to have. What is the best thing we can do for our community and establish our family as a unit uh,
Mm.
in this community?
Yeah. Can you imagine that turns into the debate? And then again, hypothetical. There could be community questions on putting a stop sign here or putting the focus on maybe a community center here, whatever it is. And that's the stuff you know what? They don't need a stop sign there. They really don't, whatever it might be. But yeah, how fantastic that on a community level, bringing people together like that. Yeah.
Let's take culture into business. So we're trying to do the same thing. So my business website, shroom.services, I'm inviting people to do the same thing of what is triaged for the future of the business. Let's have a little family argument over what are the best ideas to create the best future, causing the world to be community. I invite other corporations to take from our example. Staff and employees have a little bit of an argument over on triage. Where is your company going in the future? What is the best opportunity? Let's get everybody in the corporation involved on 2 or 3 of the best ideas. People who enjoy those are now creating content on Global and putting their developed ideas into triage. In the morning, you get together over coffee, and the first thing that you do in the corporation is review what's happening in triage matrix and how those ideas are being developed. We're all together now. We are community. We're not competition. We're not siloed. We're all together moving in the same direction. That is empowerment.
So translating this to the platform, we have a couple of minutes left. Where can somebody find out about it? And can we take it for a test drive on how it might work?
I'm undecided if I'm going to put out Post Falls platform first or the Mars platform. I think I'll probably go with mars001.org. And I want people to play with creating civilization on the Mars shroom. If people want to join our effort as an organization, that is shroom.services. So on there, you can search for WWP, learn about what we're doing, and join us using the article on Teams. More simply is just to read over the site WorldWisePeople and get an idea where what is the future the company's trying to create.
WorldWisePeople.com is the website. Loving the concept. I'm glad we went in this direction today to really better understand what's going on in our culture. It's a shame. We're disconnecting every day. I feel even more. And given the current political climate, I don't do politics. However, look what's happening. And it's just one more reason that we need to consider community in this way. Thank you, Robert, for being here today. Appreciate it.
Hey, Steve. See you next time.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.